Hi, I'm Joe Walensky, and I'm the principal of Walensky and Associates, putting on the Writers UA East Conference for Content Pros in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's coming up October 4th and 5th, and we're working in cooperation with the Department of English at North Carolina State University. I get a chance to talk with our many presenters, and today I am speaking with Katie Jones. Hello, Katie.
Hi.
Well, I'm speaking from an office in downtown Seattle. Where are you talking to us from today?
So I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, and I'm here at work in the nCino headquarters.
Well, for those that may not be familiar with you, why don't you talk a little bit about your background and the types of work that you do at nCino?
Okay, perfect. Well, I am the technical writing manager at nCino, and I'm also an active technical writer. So nCino is a bank operating system. So we're a cloud-based company, and we do all sorts of different financial services as part of the fintech industry. So things like loan origination, account opening, customer engagement, all sorts of stuff. It's a really exciting industry to be a part of. And in terms of my personal background, I actually came to technical writing by way of creative writing. So I have an MFA in poetry from UNC Wilmington, and I still do poetry and fiction and other types of creative writing, and that's definitely still one of my passions. But I kind of transitioned professionally into technical writing, after a few years of not being super happy professionally, and I've been at nCino for 3 years, just getting deeper and deeper into software development and technical communications.
Well, what's a day in the life like at nCino for Katie Jones? What types of things make up the activities that you do in a given week?
Yeah, well, my team is a part of the marketing department, which is a little bit of a unique location for technical writers. But we also work really, really closely with the product development and engineering department, so the people who are actually creating the nCino software. So we really kind of split our time into those two groups, and are sort of a liaison between those groups in a lot of ways. So a given day often involves going to a lot of Scrum events for the development teams that we write for. The developers use, agile software development, and so we spend a lot of time, in backlog grouping and sprint plannings and things like that with them, sort of understanding from the ground up what we're doing for the next software release. And then we also spend some time, individually writing, workshopping, coming up with our technical documentation. We write configuration guides, user guides, installation manuals, release notes, blog articles. So it kind of runs the gamut from more of a marketing-focused audience, for prospects and things like that, up through to the actual technical information that our users and admins and coworkers need to actually implement nCino.
Well, are there any things that you're particularly interested in now? Any new technologies or techniques or anything like that that have caught your interest?
Well, one thing that I'm really excited about, so we publish all of our documentation to a user community, and nCino is on the Salesforce platform. So we actually just transitioned our nCino community to a Salesforce Lightning community. So I'm really excited about that. It looks fantastic. It's a great place for our users and admins and nCino employees to kind of have a forum to talk with each other about how they're using nCino, work through problems, and also give the technical writers and other authors on the community actual real-time feedback about the work that we do. So that's something I've been really excited about, and in general, just trying to think through ways that technical writers can be really involved with our user community and make sure that we're providing relevant content that folks need to be able to kind of do self-service and really understand our product.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that Salesforce platform. So what are some of the things, the benefits that your customers are getting out of that, and what types of things that do you have to do on your end to be able to publish to that platform?
Yeah, well, on our end, so we actually have a custom publication tool that integrates into the Salesforce community. But because nCino itself is built on Salesforce, it's a pretty natural fit for us to also be on Salesforce in terms of our user documentation. So, and we actually were before as well. It was just an older version of the Salesforce community. So there's definitely a lot of technical considerations that go into that, but I think it provides, a pretty seamless experience, for our users and community members. So,
and are you able to do some type of single source from a content management system where your assets can go into that platform but also be distributed in other ways?
yes and no. So we actually write our documentation, using that custom tool that I mentioned. We write that logged into our internal Salesforce environment, and then we publish directly to the community. And we can, download the PDF, share in other formats. Like, for instance, if someone who wasn't a community member needed to access some documentation, we can prepare that for them pretty easily. But that's definitely, I think that's a lot of technical writing teams have similar, challenges with just trying to make sure that the content they're creating is reusable and works with multiple platforms. And that's something that we definitely, are trying to always improve on.
Well, let's talk about your conference topic, leading strategies for technical writers to influence product creation and adoption. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I started at nCino in 2015, I was one of only two technical writers. So I was the second technical writer hired to the company. And we actually have a team of 8 people now, which is really exciting. And something that we struggled with and we're always really passionate about was just figuring out how do we actually get the information that we need to write about, especially, for those of us who didn't come from a technical background. What's the best way to really get up to speed technically and truly understand the product that we're writing about from all the different perspectives and roles of the people who actually interact with that product every day to do their jobs. And so I think that in order to write technical documentation, you need to really be able to empathize with all of those different roles and audiences. And so we worked, release by release on making sure that we could just become ever more integrated to product development and engineering, to the Scrum teams, and to the work as it was actually being created. And as we got really involved with that, we started to realize, hey, in addition to kind of coming along after development work and writing a user manual or writing an install guide, I really wish that I could influence what the product actually says, because I know how to use commas, better than some of the people who are maybe creating the actual product copy for this product and things like that. And we started to realize that even on a metadata level, if a new field or object gets added to nCino, that we wanted to be able to influence what that says, so that if other people need to come along and develop on it, they have a really clear understanding of the data model and of the technical considerations that went into actually developing that feature or that object or that field. And so we started actually getting involved earlier in the process so that we could actually help groom the tickets that the developers use, so that if there was a field description, the tech writer would have already contributed that information. So then the developer comes and creates the new field, and they have the information they need to actually add metadata information to the product. So we're sort of, in kind of a sandwich where we're helping to prepare the information, and then the ticket gets developed, and then we come along behind it and also write about what was developed. And I really am passionate about kind of getting really involved in the software development lifecycle, and as a tech writer, not being afraid to just jump in and get involved with QA and get involved with UX and get involved with devs and get involved with product owners, just to make sure that we're able to just be there on the ground floor of development.
Well, it sounds like you've bought into a nice progressive approach to your work. Have there been any particular challenges that you've encountered along the way?
I think one of the biggest challenges is just sort of human error and making sure that, we're able to, that our teams get us involved early enough, and that we're able to kind of keep up with the pace of that work in addition to the writing work that we have to do. So I think that we've worked through a lot of the different challenges, and I think that just like with agile software development, you're always kind of retrospecting on what you've done and just trying to make incremental improvements. So that's kind of where we are today. But I'm really happy with the kind of process that we've been able to come up with. And I know that even a year from now, that process will look different. So.
Well, thanks for taking some time to talk about your work and your session, and look forward to seeing you in Raleigh in just a couple of months.
Thank you so much. Yeah, me too. I'm really excited about it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Katie.
Thank you.